Hello everyone. Today we're doing the Abbasid build guide for hybrid maps. So there is going to be variations of this. So when I talk about hybrid maps, I mean maps that have some water but are still primarily land. So maps like Migration are a full water map. Boulder Bay is a hybrid because they reduced the size of the water. Danube River is a hybrid. Four Lakes, Forest Pond, Golden Heights, Mongolian Heights. They're all hybrid maps because you can go docks, and it's still advised to go docks, but you can also play land as well. Now, the reason that on these maps you want to build a dock is because not only is fishing the highest food gather rate in the game, but it also allows you to get eco units much earlier than, for example, a second TC, which is the main way that most civs will get a second eco unit. Another option is, of course, trade, but we've already discussed trade in the previous video, so you can go to my YouTube channel for that. And so we're going to be working on the hybrid opening for Abbasid. The advantage with Abbasid playing on water maps is that their docks are 50% off, so they only cost 75 wood as opposed to 150. There are other civs with certain bonuses like Chinese fishing ships produce faster, English fishing ships produce at a 10% discount, and so on and so forth. But Abbasid is really strong because you have more wood to work with in the beginning because your dock is quite a bit cheaper. Okay, so we're going to get into it. This is not really matchup specific. It is, of course, very map specific. But against most civs, you will be going water. But you always want to scout as well whether your opponent is going water as well, because that will dictate how much you commit to water. Okay. So in this example, I'm just going to do the very early stages. So what you do is you send everyone to wood except for one, and you send one villager to where the water is. So you will have to have some map knowledge. And I would also send my scout there because you want to build your dock as close to the deep water fish as possible, and so you need your scout to scout that. Your next villager that comes out goes to food, and then you use one of your wood villagers to build a house. Okay, and then we gather sheep like normal. Okay. And then we want to get up to 4 on food, and then 8 on wood. Okay, and the reason we need 8 on wood, you only need about 6 on wood to support full fishing ships, full fishing ship production. But the reason we want to get 8 on wood is because we need wood for extra things like lumber camp and a house of wisdom and houses. So at this point here, I would just be going across to my opponent's base to scout whether they're on water or not, because if they're not on water, we do have to concentrate slightly more on the age up. But in this case, I'm just going to assume, or we're going to assume that this person is also going water. So I have too many on food. So you want the 3 on food here, 1 on food there. So you have the 4 villagers on food, and then we get up to 8 on wood, and then we go to gold. And we will always want to remember to be switching back and forth to our dock to make sure that we're producing fishing ships, and back to our TC to make sure that we are producing villagers. So obviously in this example here, he's not on, oh no, he is on water. Okay, so this is perfect. So we're just going with a steady age up because he won't be able to be aggressive. Okay, so we go up to 8 on wood, then the next villager to gold. And we're going to build mine cap. Okay. So we constantly make fishing ships. Now there are 2 ways that we can play this build, and in the transition to the mid game, and I'll go over those in a second when we build the House of Wisdom. So we also want to make sure we're building fishing ships. So the next is that we build a house. So I'm just going to build a house with one of these villagers here, and then we're going to build another fishing ship, and then we're going to build the House of Wisdom. So we want to go up to 3 on gold, then we rally to food. And that's almost perfect. 3 on gold, and then we go to food. And then, again, we want to build a House of Wisdom, so you can do this with really any of your villagers. In this case, I'm just going to do it with my gold villagers because they are the closest. Okay. So again, you can see that we're on 0 wood again. So we want to just make sure that we have that we're being efficient with our resources. And we always have 2 villagers in production. And so once we get a good amount on food, so in this case I have 5, I rally back to wood because what we want to make sure is we want to make sure that we have enough to build production when we transition. So as far as what to go first in your House of Wisdom, there are 2 options. Your first option is you can go Culture Wing, and so this is if you are trying to fast castle, and the reason that you would fast castle in this case is because you have a lot of food production already, and so you just need to be on gold at that point. Very viable option, unlike if this is not a hybrid map, just because you won't have enough food income. So we can go Culture Wing. Now in this case I've gone Military Wing because if you're playing against a more aggressive Cid, you're going to be fighting in Feudal, you may want to defend yourself with the units that come out from the Military Wing, and then Boot Camp for fighting in Feudal. So we're going to leave the 3 on gold in perpetuity, and now what we want to try and do is get up to that golden age. Okay. So I'm gonna build a mill, house here. And then, so on this particular map, you can probably stop building fishing ships once you get to about 10. And then build another dock and go for fishing in another pond. Or you can play aggressive and build a whole bunch of production and start to play in Feudal. Or like I said, you can just go fast castle from here. If you are going fast castle, what you would do is you wouldn't focus as much on wood, you would have more on gold and food, and just try to fast castle, maybe build 1 or 2 production buildings. And then if you're going, you know, a second dock, I would take all of this off food and go to wood. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build production as soon as I hit Feudal, and we're just going to transition into some Feudal. So I have my units here, and we're going to build stables and archery. So I probably don't need to build the stables that early. I can go and build fishing ship. And then we can build a blacksmith next, and then we can build. So see, because we have so much food income, we can build a camel archer. Camel archers are very expensive. They're 240 resources, but they are very mobile and they have very high base damage. And then we'll just build a blacksmith after that. And then we can start to be aggressive. And so from here, you're just reacting to what your opponent does. Unlike with most games, if your opponent goes fishing and you've gone fishing, you're kind of on equal ground. Unlike most games where if you're Abbasid 2 TC and they only have 1 TC, you are behind on the military and you have to defend yourself. When you have water, you both have water, and you haven't gone that second TC, you can be more aggressive and play on even grounds. Okay, and that is the water opening. It's so just as a reminder, it's everyone to wood except for 1. That 1 builds the dock, and then you rally to food until you get 3 villagers on food. Your 4th villager will be the villager doing the shoreline fish, and then you rally to wood until you get 8 on wood, and then you go 3 on gold, then back to wood. Okay, and then you have the options of going culture or military wing are, in my opinion, the best options, but you can, of course, explore the other 2 wings as well. Perfect. We'll see you in the next one.